Hey, this is David again, and like I promised, since we made a simple dishwashing soap a second ago, now we're going to make a little more complicated soap. Now we're going to make a liquid laundry detergent. Now, I don't really think that this has got a whole lot of application in a disaster situation, other than doing it yourself starts getting you in that reliant mindset and gets you used to researching and doing things yourself rather than just paying somebody else to do it for you. And it's a good way of saving some money. You know, if you make your own soap and you're doing laundry for a couple pennies a load instead of a couple quarters a load, then that gives you more resources to spend elsewhere to get better prep. So basically all we're going to do is I've got some Phelps depth soap, which is recommended, but you don't have to necessarily use this brand or this type of soap. And we're going to grate it, about half of it, into this container using this cheese grater. And then we're going to put it in about 5 cups of water and melt it, basically. We don't want it to boil because we don't want it to bubble over. Just like we did the sugar for the wine a little earlier. So we're going to heat it up, put those shreds of water in the, or shreds of soap in the water, stir it around. Then we're going to add that in a 5-gallon bucket to about 3 gallons of hot water, mix that up, and then we're going to put some more washing soda and some more borax in there. So the first thing though we have to do is grate our soap. And this is like a lye soap. And eventually we're going to make some. I just haven't got around to doing that yet. So we're just going to grate this. About half of it. And it's kind of neat. It's going to be a little watery when we're done, but we're going to let it sit overnight, and it's going to gel up a little bit. Now this will never gel like store-bought detergent. It's always going to be a little bit watery. But that's okay, because you can't have everything, and I'd rather it be a little watery and ugly looking than be expensive. So it's cheap, so we'll let it'll get away with not being a perfect looking thing. I think they call that an economic differential in academic speak. So there we go. Nice little curlicues. So we're going to go over to the stove and heat this up. Now we're going to do this gradually, and I've got it on a medium heat because I do not want this to melt. Put a little bit in. If we get it too hot and it boils, it'll bubble over, and I don't want that to happen. So we're just going to mix it a little bit. You see it starting to dissolve. Add a little bit more. Oh, what the heck. Let's just dump it all in there, huh? Ooh, look at the bird. Alright. So we're just going to stir this up. I don't want it to froth up and make suds. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. And while that's happening, at the same time, I'm going to measure 3 gallons of hot water into my 5-gallon bucket. Okay. All right. So you can see that my soap has melted. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add it to the bucket that has hot water in it, 3 gallons. So we're going to pour the soap in there. Stir that up a little bit. We're going to add half a cup washing soda. Stir that up, let it dissolve. Then we're going to add a cup of borax. Now if you have essential oils or a fragrance, lavender would work really good. It would be the time to add it right after the borax. But since we're doing this for the purpose of being cheap, I'm not going to mess with it. So we're at add a cup of that. Stir that up. Now, that's all you got to do. Is let that, all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cover it, put it someplace where it won't be disturbed, let it sit overnight, and it'll gel up. Now, I'll tell you right now, it's not going to gel like a liquid detergent. It'll have some clumps in it and some water in there, and that's okay. When you get ready to use it, just scoop some into your measuring cup and pour it in there, lumps and all. Just get, you don't want to use all the lumps in one batch, but kind of divide it out equally. Use about a cup of it per load, and you may have to do a little experimentation to see what works best in your washer. But that's all there is to it. And probably the next step is we're going to actually make some soap, but I've got the lye. Right now I'm trying to get enough fat. So, okay, so it's the next day in the morning. We can take the lid off. Let's see if it's gelled up. And you can see that it has. Like I told you, it might be a little liquidy with little chunks in here. That's no big deal. You just want to stir it up every time that you use it. Get you a measuring cup, scoop you out about a cup, throw that in your clothes washer, or the non-electric clothes washer that we're going to make probably next weekend. And really that's all you got to do to make homemade, do-it-yourself clothes washing liquid detergent. So until next time, you can always check us on the blog at www.tngun.com. Thanks.